Alright, so today's going to be a real quick video. I really wanted to come out and do a budgeting video for my YouTube channel, and I didn't get it done. But there was this one thing that had happened, and I said, oh my goodness, I need to talk about this on my YouTube channel. Now, I would have been talking about budgeting and how it's important to manage your finances. And then something came to me, something that I used to do. It may seem small and insignificant, but I kind of like fell off a bit until I went to a store to return an item because what had happened was it was the wrong item. So I wanted to take it back. To be refunded. So we took it back, and then as I was taking it back, because we had to look for the bill, and we got the bill, I recognized it. I've been charged for 5 items, on another item 5, but I only needed 4. I wasn't given 5, but I was charged for 5, and I only have 4. And had I not had to take back that item, I would have spent, and that item was almost $100. I would have spent an extra $100 on something that I didn't have. So one of the things I want to say, check your bills. You don't care if persons look at you strange and the cashier think that you're holding up the line. You can always step to the side once you're finished with your purchase. Check your bill. Make sure that what you have paid equals what you have. And then when we did that, we had to go through this whole process because it didn't seem like if we were telling the truth. So the person went through the security cameras, and indeed, we really didn't get like the extra item, so we paid that $100. Make sure you check your bills. Check your bills. In this day and age with prices rising, we really can't afford not to check our bills. Not to check our bills. We gotta check. We gotta check to make sure we are not spending over or paying over, and that we don't have that particular item. So these are little things that can help us as we continue to work towards our budgeting future. Now I know that gas prices are going up, prices on everything, will be going up, especially with all that's happening in the world right now. So this is a great time. So this is an ad time. Great time for you to get your Kingdom Budgeting for Women, the book. You need to read the book. Don't only have the book, read the book. I want you to also download that Kingdom Budgeter, which is available on houseofeliwedding.com. Download that, use it, use it. We can't be spending money like any old how now. We gotta be real calculated with what we are doing. Now, we would have seen how gas prices could go up, how they can fluctuate, where something on the larger scale or in the world could come and affect us wherever we are. And in the book I talk about ways to even reduce the amount of gas that we are using. Carpooling. Now with the world of COVID, you may not want to carpool so much, but in terms of your household, if you have 2 vehicles, maybe you wanna let everybody come together. Even if you're going at different places, maybe we could leave a little earlier and we all move together, and you drop off everybody and use that one car every now and again to just reduce the amount of gas that you are putting in. So you have to look at ways of managing your finances and making your money work. You can't let what is happening on the outside control completely your entire quality of life. There are things that you can do to mitigate, even though there's a measure of uncertainty out there. There are things that we can do to mitigate. I also want to say it's very important to take note of your spending. Now, I recognize that for myself of late, I would have been doing some spending that was not on my budget, and sometimes I wasn't always taking note. It's very important to take note of what you are buying, where you are spending. Don't go too far away from what you would have planned. I keep talking about building a house, and you know, I find myself between this place where I don't want to talk about it too much, because there's something in Barbadian culture where you don't let anybody know your business. But then at the same time, there's a deep burning desire to use everything that I have gone through as a testimony, and I want to be able to help other persons, because everything I do, I have that burning desire to help. So Kingdom Budgeting for Women, Labor of Love, to help. Kingdom Budgeting Diary, available on Amazon, to help. Budgeting binders, available in Barbados, to help. The Budgeter, to help. So, you know, I really find myself between that rock and a hard place. But really and truly, I was having a conversation with a friend, and then I had the same conversation many times. I would say in the span of a month with about 3 or 4 people, and they really were asking me questions about the process of building and how is that, and they really didn't know, because there's not a lot of information, and they are at the feet of the banks and what's not. And one of the tips that I gave, as is per anything in your life, just as I said, don't do any spending without making notes. When you are going into a large scale decision, be it building a house, be it running a business, try to have copious notes. Don't use the money that is allocated for something big, because it may seem that you have a lot of money in your hand at a moment to fund your personal wants. Don't go and eat out all of the money. You shouldn't. Use the money for what it was given for what it was allocated for, and take copious notes. I say this because already big decisions, even though they look so flashy in the beginning, there are a lot of things that come up that we don't expect. And if we start to pull away from what would have been our pool to carry us through, then when something comes up that is unexpected, we don't have something to pull from. In addition to that, if you keep good notes, if you try to keep your costing down, try to make the best decisions, the most affordable decisions, yet decisions that please you, you may even find that at the end of the process, you may have something that is left that you know could probably use to do something else. It doesn't always work that way, because things are expensive, prices are going up, but you want to make sure though that the money that you have allocated does exactly what it is supposed to do. So you don't want that when you're done, you can't complete. No, I see a lot of houses that are abandoned, some are not completed, some I know persons die and what's not, but then some you have the cases where the person just didn't have the money to complete it. And I often ask myself why, but I know sometimes we as human beings, because we are human beings, we kind of make decisions that aren't the best, and they affect us in a way that isn't always positive. But I really believe that now is the time for us to work together, pool our resources, pool our information. If I have succeeded in one area and you have succeeded in the next, for us to come together and say, listen, this is how I did this, and you said this is how I do this, and we come together and we get it done. So I'm hoping that these tips on budgeting are helpful. I'm hoping that you can take something for it and apply it in your life. Remember, Kingdom Budgeting for Women, available on Amazon by Tara Mears. Kingdom Budgeting Diary, available on Amazon by Tara Mears. www.houseofeliwedding.com. Go on the shop page, download the Kingdom Budgeter, and use it. But that's all from me right now. I'm hoping that you have an awesome day whenever you see this, and keep budgeting, keep working on yourself. Your financial future is yours.